Look at that. So now we're using the Godox trigger to control the power on the Neewer flash. Welcome back to the channel, guys. All right, so we are on our way right now to my accountant. I'm not in trouble. So we're gonna go right now because he's gonna be creating his own YouTube channel and he's gonna be posting videos, he's gonna be posting informational things. We're gonna link his channel somewhere down below if it's already live. And what we're doing is we're gonna help him set up. I'm not a videographer, clearly, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna help him set up so he can share information just like we do. Now, that is the main reason that we're going. However, the secondary reason that we're going, or the secondary thing that we're gonna do is yesterday, I was walking into my house and I went, ooh, look at that box. And what was waiting for me at the front door was this guy right here. This is the Neewer Z3. If you guys follow the channel, you know that we previously used the Z2, which was a 76 watt flash. This is a 100 watt speed light, which is pretty extraordinary. That's a lot of power out of a speed light. It gives you up to 500 full power flashes, and it also gives you 1.7 seconds recycle time at full power. So it's a very, very capable flash. It's not the smallest flash on earth. It's a little bit big. So understand that it carries a little bit more weight. As I always say, opportunity cost. You're not going to get a ton of power and a quick recycling time and then get a tiny, tiny form factor. That being said, this is definitely small for the power that it has, if that makes sense. We're gonna be doing just a quick one light portrait with my accountant. I told them, hey, we're gonna keep it super simple. I sent him exactly what the inspiration shot was, more or less. So it's one simple big light source. I'm gonna set up a backdrop, which is essentially just a reflector that I have, or not a reflector, it's like a sunshade, essentially. So that's gonna be the background, and that way we're not fighting, anything in the inside. It's just gonna be very controlled. One big light source, one big flash, well, not big flash, one medium-sized flash with a lot of power, and we're gonna see how good it looks. Obviously, the big light source is what's gonna make the biggest difference. We're gonna make another video on that. As far as using softboxes, we have made a video previously about using an umbrella, and actually it was in Huntington Beach, which is where we are right now. So we're gonna do just a nice, quick, simple portrait with this new flash. Check it out. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm gonna do an unboxing type of video with this flash also to go over all the other additional features. Like, did you guys know that you can now control some of these Neewer flashes, Neewer the company, not Neewer as in new, Neewer flashes with the Godox triggers? It's something that they rolled out very quietly, but I was experimenting with it a few weeks ago with the Z2 when I upgraded the firmware on that. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the heck is going on? My Godox trigger was firing the Neewer flash. This one, they were a little bit more open about it because when you scroll down, you can see where you can tell it that it can either be controlled by the Neewer remote, which they also sent us, a Neewer remote, the new remote, I should say, by Neewer, which is really nice, or you can control it by the Godox X line triggers. So the X3Pro, which is what we have, we can control it with that. So pretty exciting news, I would say, because it gives you so much more as far as options. You can now choose whichever flash you want instead of having to pick and choose brand. So you're not married to anything. You can use the Godox trigger with a Neewer flash. The other way around, I don't think it works. I don't think Godox has kind of intertwined that. I'll test it out, but as far as I know, you're not gonna be able to use a Neewer trigger to fire off a Godox flash, but you can fire off a Neewer flash with a Godox trigger. Let me know if I lost any of you on that. Anyway, we're gonna go inside, we're gonna set him up, and then we're gonna do a nice, quick, easy portrait. All right, so this is the flash. Like I said, not the smallest unit. It's sizable, but I mean, personally, I like it because it feels very solid. So when you turn it on, you're gonna see this big screen, and that's where you're gonna be able to control everything. But this is what it looks like. It's a round head, and it's also a magnetic round head. So if you wanna use the MagMod equipment that we always use, you can, because it will fit around there, or you can get the ones that are dedicated directly for this, which are a lot cheaper. Build quality, I would say not as good as MagMod, but they are integrated within this, so you don't have to have the additional rubber. So plus and minus. This is what we're gonna use today. See, it's brand new. We haven't even taken off the little plastic thing that it comes with. I got the Sony version, so it has the Sony mount on the bottom. And all we're gonna do is attach it to, it does come with its own plastic mount that a lot of these flashes come with. I don't know if the quality on these has gotten better over the years. I know back in the day, it was not very good and I've broken a bunch. So I still stick with the MagMod attachment. Again, not because MagMod pays us or anything, they don't, but they do send us, you know, things for us to test out. So this is what we use. It seems to be a heck of a lot more reliable. And speaking of MagMod, this is what we're gonna be using today. So this, if you guys have followed the channel, is something we announced recently. We didn't announce it, they announced it, we just played with it. That is the Magstand. So we're gonna be using that because it is extremely nice. I love this stupid stand. I never thought in my entire career I would be excited about a light stand, but here we are. So this is what we're gonna be using today. So what we're gonna use today, just like we mentioned in a previous video about using a larger light source, we are just gonna use a nice, simple umbrella. So this right here, since we're gonna shoot indoors, we don't have to worry about it blowing over. So I'm just showing you guys just for an example. One thing you don't wanna do with an umbrella, you can, there's a time and place that you would, but generally speaking, the rule is you don't wanna put it so tight that now the light source becomes so small. It's so small. You don't wanna put it so far away where now you're losing a ton of light over here. What you wanna do is keep it somewhere around here so you get the biggest light source possible without it spilling all over the place. So this is what we're gonna use, just one simple $20 umbrella, as we mentioned in a previous video, and that's what we're gonna use for Dana's dope-ass portrait. So at least we hope. No, Dana's an interesting looking, and I mean that in a very positive way, interesting looking gentleman, so that's why I wanted to use him. I know he had a big beard before. I think he shaved it. He had a handlebar a couple of days ago. We're gonna see what he has today and yeah, give him a really solid portrait. What we're gonna use as far as equipment, Sony A7V, because that's my camera. And then we're gonna use the Tamron 35 to 150 because we use this thing to death. This is pretty much what we use for 95% of our shoots. And like I said, check this out, guys. This is so exciting, I know, I can hardly contain myself. So you see right there where it says RX compatible? When you hit that, you can now control this with the Godox trigger. Look at that. So now we're using the Godox trigger to control the power on the Neewer flash. Pretty incredible stuff. I mean, I'm kind of being a little silly, but realistically, that is amazing because now I can use this and not have to, you know, worry about, am I using a Godox main over there and then a Neewer over there? Like, I can control everything from here, which is pretty incredible. So one thing that a lot of photographers may question is the ambient light. So the ambient light right now, is it gonna affect the exposure? I have a button where it shows me the exposure preview. When I look at it, it looks completely black, like completely dark. That's what I want. So the only thing that's gonna be exposed is whatever gets hit by light. Don't look at the flash, Dana. Okay. Photographers, whenever I say don't look at the light, I always pause because what people do, don't look at the light. Yeah, they look at, all they hear is light. Yeah. So
especially when you said don't look at it, I'm
exactly.
Like, I want to look at it. I'm like, don't do it.
And like I was saying before, Godox Trigger is firing the Neewer flash. Looking this way. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let me see. Yeah, that's more where we want it. During this portion, I was telling Alexis to take the Magstand and separate it. So using just the mag pole. So you're going to see him holding it and extending it. And what you're going to do now, Alexis, is you're going to boom it a little bit more overhead. So let me show you. You're going to be holding it, I think like this. And I think I should be able to hide it like that, but it'll give us nice light right there. Okay. Cool. There we go. Just like that. Dana, let me have you looking this way. 1, 2, 3. Nice. That's it. Nice. Let me show you just so you guys can see. So that's the first one. You see how it was dark on one side? Yeah. That's when he boomed it.
Oh, nice.
Do you see how much cleaner that looks?
Yeah.
What's it?
If you pay for this, use this.
Exactly. Use that thing. Yeah, exactly. If you get the boom, use the boom. There we go. Okay. We'll just get a couple more and we should be solid, Dana. Right there. Chin down a little tiny bit. Like right over here. You're going to be looking straight this way. Again, don't look at the flash, but look towards the flash. Yeah, okay. Alexis, come right over here, please. So go a little bit less flat, rather. Right around there. Yep, exactly. Hold that right there, Dana. Relax your posture a little. That's it. Yep, good. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that looks great. Cool. Thank you. So that in black and white is what we're going for.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that looks great.
This could be your profile photo for your YouTube.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool. Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, man.
We'll put everything away right now so you can go about your day. All right, so we just wrapped up. We used, again, the Z3 by Neewer, and my goodness, that thing, the build quality on it is really, really nice. It's very clicky, it's very tactile, everything feels really nice. The screen is really big, which is a plus because it does feel high quality. It also is very easy to read. I like that it also shows some tips. So if you don't know, for example, if you look at the modeling lamp, it shows you can either set it so it's continuous or it'll have it on, and every time that you fire the flash, when you hit your shutter, it will shut off the modeling lamp and then it'll turn back on. So it'll explain to you what those settings are. I like that. It's very intuitive, very communicative. It shows you exactly what it's doing. Overall, I think it's a really, really great unit. It's not overly priced either, and it's just a really nice option. And like I said, the fact that now you can use it with the Godox system, if you already have the Godox, if you already bought into that ecosystem, it's nice that you can mix and match between brands depending on what makes the most sense for you. I know that Godox also makes I think it's the V100, which is also a 100-watt flash. So the options are endless, essentially. These companies keep coming out with different flashes, different remotes, different options, which in the end, it only helps you, the consumer, us, the consumer. Overall, really impressed by it. We didn't need anywhere close to the amount of power that it has because we were shooting indoors. But what it's for, because you may be wondering, why do I need such a powerful flash on top of my camera? It may not necessarily be because you need a ton of power, but it could be because you need the recycling time, because you need something that's going to keep up. So those are the pluses of using a bigger flash. If you don't need so much power, if you don't need so much of a recycling time, you can get away with a smaller option. There are a ton of different options, both from Neewer and from Godox and from Canon, Sony. They still make stuff, right? No, so, there are a ton of options that you can choose, but this is a great option for an on-camera flash that you can then use off camera as well. That's going to give you a ton of power for what it is, not an enormous footprint, but yes, it is bigger than other flashes. So I'm showing you guys a comparison right now of the Z3 versus the other Godox ones that we have, because mostly we have a Godox ecosystem. So you guys are seeing the different sizes of the flash. It's bigger, but it's not obnoxiously big. Anyway, let us know what you guys think. If you want to leave a comment, have a question, go ahead and leave it below. And yeah, you guys have a great day.